Peace and love, family. What's going on? I have jumped on, been a lot going on, and I have been just trying to wrap my head around some of the nonsense. Let me make sure I put this link in here if anybody want to join me. Chit chat real quick. Basically, yeah. I wanted to say something real quick about this Kwame thing, Kwame Brown. I know everybody's been talking about it. I'm gonna be real brief on it. I just watched his video. I wasn't going to talk about that, but just real quick, I had to say something about him being responsive to Charlemagne. I'm so glad he was not weak, falling up under the, yeah, let's make peace. And, after this man has dogged him out, and as he dogs out so many black men, it's so annoying. But I am so glad that he responded the way that he did, and he is not falling for the nonsense. So I just want to say that real quick. Jumped on here to say that a lot of the conversations I've been hearing is like regurgitated information that's back and forth. It's like the same arguments over and over again. We try to listen to people, you know, and grow with each other, so on and so forth. And when doing that, what usually happens is one person says something, the other person don't agree with what they say, or they feel like that person's information isn't very pertinent, so they want to make sure they give their thoughts and their ideas. And when that happens, one person is arguing their point, not even seeing that sometimes the points coincide, and there may just be a little difference of opinion, a difference of the way that the person is speaking their truth and the way that they view it or see it. And it becomes an argument for no apparent reason. I can uh, count on my hands the times that I've been on a panel when it was building going on and it didn't develop into an argument. It's amazing how like other people can do what they want to do on their panels and their shows. I don't want to, make it a race thing, but certain races, they keep it professional. They stick to the facts. They talk about issues. They're able to go back and forth with each other without agreeing, but being able to at least have conversations with each other and maybe discuss, what they see in the other person's thoughts or ideas, so on and so forth. When having a conversation, maybe you guys don't understand truly what a conversation is. When you're having a conversation with someone, it is a back and forth. One person exchanges the thought and the idea, the next person exchanges the thought and the idea, and the conversation can stay there if a person doesn't choose to go against another person and start to down their ideas or their thoughts. Instead of agreeing to disagree on a person's feelings, a person is always looking to overpower the other person so that they think that what they're standing on is a lot stronger than what the other person has said. When in all actuality, neither point is usually gathered, is what I'm seeing, because by the time you're listening to all the arguing and debating and the going back and forth, you don't even know what the argument was about. We generally don't even get the issue. We generally don't get the point. We generally get taken away from the whole premise of conversation where it may have been something pertinent for somebody to take in information, learn something from, gather another thought, so on and so forth. A lot of times when it comes to building, you can build by adding bricks, adding pieces of solder or whatever you need to mold the building and build from there. If one person has a brick and they're offering the brick to the next person, even if the brick's a little heavy for them, it's okay to take your time with it and carry it over slowly. Take your time, listen to a person. We have two freaking ears for a reason and one mouth for another reason. I think you need to listen two times as much as you speak. And when doing so, it gives an easy way for a person to, I guess, have a cordial conversation. Even if you don't agree with a person, you guys can discuss it, you can talk about it, you can even discuss their view, believe it or not. If somebody's saying something you don't agree with, question them on it. It doesn't have to be a big debate. It doesn't have to be a big issue. It doesn't have to be demeaning, any of that. Just kind of talking about what the person's idea is and seeing where they're coming from. Even if you don't agree with it, at least you can see where they're coming from and have a discussion on that. Another thing that bugs me is the same conversation. And I'm going to say what it is, the Bible. Man, when y'all start talking about that Bible, it becomes a big, huge issue. You know how people say when you talk about the Bible, it starts to create arguments. When you talk about religion, when you talk about government, politics, things of this nature. I know on my previous job, it was forbidden to talk about these things because it caused issues and conflicts. So it's something that even in the workplace, they make sure that it's a conversation that's not had. Therefore, people don't have arguments and issues with each other. What I don't understand is everyone has a certain perception or a concept about what they feel on the religious aspect. Everyone has a concept of what they think others should see or feel or know or, so on and so forth. But when it comes to that, you can't have take another person's idea, get into their head, change their thoughts, their viewpoint based off the things they've learned, based off the things that they know, the knowledge that they've taken account of. It's not really up to you to decide whether or not they're right or wrong. If you want to have insight into what they're thinking, you discuss it with them, so on and so forth. So when it comes to that religious thing, y'all need to really stay away from that. A lot of the panels, I don't care what they talk about, it always goes back to it. They can say, I don't believe in religion, and oh, people are indoctrinated, and people are this, and people are that. Okay, if everyone feels like that and no one likes to have this discussion, why are we talking about this? Why is it a debate? Why is it a conversation that needs to be had when we know that no one's going to agree and no one's going to come to a head to kind of leave it at this particular space or so on and so forth? Is continuous chaos, continuous drama. And what I seem to find is that everybody likes that. It's like they're excited about the argument. They're excited about the drama. They enjoy going back and forth with each other. They enjoy being able to, say whatever it is they want to say, be rude to the next person, disregard the other person's thoughts and feelings, kind of crisscross what's going on with them and all that kind of stuff. It's amazing to me. We can be so concerned about the earth, this environment, the things that are going on, what we should and shouldn't be doing to build with each other, uniting and coming together, and we shouldn't be separated, this, and that. A conversation can be had in that whole freaking concept, right? And 30 minutes later, a person says something that somebody don't like, and it's just like going out the window. Somebody say something I don't like, so now we can go against each other. Now we can argue with each other. Now you can be all kind of be niggas and this, and that because you're not agreeing with me. You can just take a disagreement or someone not agreeing with you, and now it's like full on war. I don't even get it. I've had people like go at me and argue with me about things, and I've gotten caught up in it and I had to like take myself away from it because it's draining. I don't like my energy to be absorbed by nonsense. I don't like to be controlled by low vibrational frequencies from people that don't know how to control themselves and don't know how to think logically. I think it's just a matter of respect. It's a matter of the way that you can perceive another person and them being just as important as you are. You know, their thoughts being just as important as yours are. What they're feeling is just important as your feelings, and the way that they're seeing something, they're viewing it, and they'd like someone else to hear their thoughts and ideas is the same as yours. So when it comes to that, what's the problem with listening to another person? There's so much time that's spent on these panels and discussing things. We don't talk about the important things. When you're focused on things that don't make sense or things that aren't important, it takes away from the important issues at hand. The issues of like coming together, the issues of grouping ourselves in our neighborhoods, and trying to make sure we're forming some type of foundation for the youth or for those that are in our areas that we can possibly make a difference for in their life. Whatever the case may be. But what happens is we don't think like that. We don't even think to have enough energy towards what's good for the next person. Everyone's so selfish, and thinking about what they need to do. It's nothing wrong with being a little selfish. We have to be selfish at some points in time. But when it comes to being self-centered, that's another issue. Maybe we need to look up being selfish and self-centered and kind of understand that when you're being self-centered, that means that everything is kind of centered around you. You're centering everything around you as far as like what you think is beneficial, what you think is good, and what you think is going to be the best thing. So when we do that, a lot of times when you're self-centered, you're thinking on the inside. It's not about self. A lot of times people think, okay, it's about self. And they don't understand that being self-centered is being far off from, being about yourself. When you're being about yourself, that means you're speaking your mind, you're standing in your truth, you stand on your ground and what you feel, so on and so forth. But when you're being self-centered, you're thinking that the whole world revolves around you. Everything that's going on should be going in the way that I want it to go so it benefits me and it's not causing friction for me, not understand that sometimes friction, even though we think it may not be beneficial to us, it is. So we have to be acceptable to all the things that come into our life and into our environment, no matter what it is. Be grateful for it. You take bad situations, you take good situations, and what you do with them. Hey, that's the question. I've had some horrible situations in my life, but what I do is take the foundation of what's going on and see where I can go from there. If there's something going on that I can't change, I look at the situation, I see what it is that I can do to make myself feel better about it, see if there is a way to change that, see if there is something that I can do to make a difference in the circumstance that I'm in at that time, and I take those steps. After taking those steps, if I can't do anything else about it, do you think I'm going to worry myself about it? You think I'm going to worry about things that I can't change or control? I don't even do that for myself. So why would I do it for someone else? Why would I worry about stepping into someone else's head, trying to make them understand or feel what I'm saying, hear what I mean, get my point, all of this stuff if they um if they're not able to step into my shoes. I can't step into their shoes. They can't step into my shoes. So you can't expect for a person to think the way that you do. So being respectful of another person is going to be definitely a foundation for building relationships with people where there's not a lot of arguing and fussing and all that stuff. But yeah, I just jumped on here to say that I've been on a lot of panels and a lot of frustration with the arguing, a lot of frustration when I dedicate a lot of hours and hours and hours to conversations of growth and hoping to build and put information out into the atmosphere for others that aren't aware of it or, are seeking information and, they run across something and then, they're getting cross reference. Some of it's informative and some of it's nonsense. So, yeah, I just think that we need to focus a lot more on, listening to others and not being focused on trying to sway a person to your thoughts, your ideas, thinking like you do, feeling the way that you do, because it's not going to happen. Everybody's their own person. And even if you don't agree with a person, you don't have to, oh, you're wrong. You're saying this and you're telling people misinformation, this, and that. No, you don't have to do that. What you can do is kind of talk to them about the information, give your information, leave it at that. It's up to another person to discern that information. Take what they say, take the meat and spit out the bones, take bits and pieces of that information, use it, do as much as you can to make it beneficial for whatever way that you can. And whatever you can't use, you just, disregard. A lot of times we have to make sure that we are paying attention to what we're doing and not focus on what the next person is doing. Shining a little light, giving a little love, being a little accepted to the person, being respectable to the person, honoring another person's thoughts and ideas, knowing that they're just as valuable as yours. Just doing a couple of those things definitely will make you feel a lot better. It would definitely build a better foundation for people to grow when, they know they're being respected. They know they're being loved. They know that, they're being valued for their thoughts and, what's coming out of their minds, so on and so forth. When a person takes time to give their idea or express themselves so on and so forth, they are just like giving you a part of themselves. When I'm talking, just like now, I could be laying down, relaxing, chilling, but this was on my mind, so I said I'm gonna jump on here. I was thinking about it earlier. I had to go out with my daughter, left out. I had to change the time for this live, but I said I definitely wanted to get up here. I don't care if it was just a few minutes and touch on it because it was on my heart. I get so tired of the arguing. I get so tired of people going back and forth, trying to belittle each other, putting each other down, arguing about things that, we just can't agree upon. If you can't agree upon a certain thing when it comes to religion, why talk about it? I mean, you want to talk about it to argue, stuff like that. It just doesn't make much sense to me. But I just thought popped up here to say that, guys. Thanks so much for showing out. Teo Brown, hi sis, appreciate you so much. Cosmo Kid, you already know, Ty, my all love. Big O, thanks for coming through, bro. And Big Dog Philly OG, of course, my bro J My, always showing support and showing out for me. I appreciate you always, bro. Yeah, hopefully, guys, I'll be able to get on here tomorrow a little earlier and we can have a little in-depth conversation about a couple of things. I love the chat. I love to be on the panels and grow with other brothers, listen to the conversation. Just when that arguing starts, it goes left. It just hurt my spirit. It drains me, takes all the energy away from me. I just be like, oh gosh. So yeah, what I want to do is make sure that I said that because it was on my mind, and that's pretty much it, guys. I didn't have much more to say, and I think I'm about to end the live right now. Nobody came up, even though a couple of y'all showed out. I appreciate you guys, and y'all have a good night. Make sure you stay in love and peace and light. You're sharing. Nothing but good parts of yourself with anybody that you run across, or you're just in their circumference, and let's just keep that in mind. All right, guys, y'all have a good one.